Economist Professor Peter Quartey has urged government to return to complying with the fiscal rules as part of measures to revive the ailing economy. President Akufo-Addo in 2019 passed the Fiscal Responsibility Act, which sought to limit future public spending. But in 2020, the government suspended compliance with the rules to the year 2024 due to the outbreak of COVID-19, which was having a devastating impact on the economy. Here's more from a virtual public lecture organized by the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana.
The director of ICAG, Professor Peter Quartey, says there is the need for government to reverse the suspension of the fiscal rules to complement efforts in addressing the current economic challenges bedeviling the country.
In every election year, we spend as if there is no tomorrow. Then after elections, we start to clean up the next 3 years. Then we do that again. How do we break away from this political business cycle? The 5%, the Fiscal Responsibility Act, and then the 5% deficit target was helping us to minimize some of this. Yet I think when we win ourselves from this current dispensation, current challenges, we should revisit this fiscal deficit target and ensure that we spend within our limits to minimize some of these recurrent challenges, and also plan in such a way that when there are shocks, we should be able to withstand those shocks.
With regards to the e-levy, for which bill has been assented to by the president, the ICAG boss called for a reduction in the rate to less than 1% so that it does not derail government's financial inclusion agenda.
We need to enhance our revenue, but that option might not augur well for businesses. Why do I say that? The elasticity of demand and supply for some of the products is not inelastic to the demand for e-services. For some products like tobacco, alcohol, fuel, some of them are inelastic. So even if you increase the price, the drop in the consumption or the use might not be so high. But where you have good substitutes, like the electronic transfers, some would use the other substitute. If I have to pay a huge sum and I'm going to transfer this money and pay 1.5% the current rate, I may walk in with a check and pay.
Professor Quartey emphasized the need to reintroduce road tolls using the e-pass system.
If you remove tolls outright, the idea was that there was congestion, we are not generating enough. But yes, the payment is going through middlemen. Therefore, you will find that you will not get enough from these tolls. But if you have an e-pass system where you pay into a central, Ministry of Finance or a central or GRA collects this, we are given an e-pass and the e-pass lane, I think the congestion will be reduced.
Professor Quartey also suggested that the Ghana Revenue Authority takes up the collection of property rates to ensure efficiency.
GRA to take up the collection of the property rates. I think there is some discussion in my presentation. I mentioned some steps to ensure that GRA collects some of these property rates because, in my view, the assemblies have not been very efficient in collecting this property rates.
The ICAG's first quarter public lecture was on the topic Fiscal Options for Stabilizing and Boosting Ghanaian Economy.
That'll be all for Business. Sports continues right after this. Stay.